Summary of the case. The proposed business case is iteration quest for growth, a market choice challenge based mainly on the fact that Martin McNichol did not feel comfortable sending employees to the United States unless on important dates, as in this case Christmas Eve, in order to meet with client or fulfilling multiple requests for personalized services. He did not like to travel, and he don't like to ask someone else to make trips abroad on these times of the year. He wanted to have some based in United States, but he was not very sure that this made any business sense to open an office in the US. Therefore, of the reason for the creation of iteration was that McNichol wanted to leave his administrative job in a major corporation in order to avoid travel international and to serve Quebec reselling software solutions developed by NetSuite, a United States-based leader in supplying raw cloud services, IT solutions for small and medium businesses. Along the way, Rations realized IT rations realized that much of the growth had been driven by increased sales in the United States, thanks to NetSuite leaders rather than its own market efforts that the cost of Quebec sales was down, increasing. He had a budget of 100,000 to develop a new growth strategy, but McNichol was not quite sure whether the money should be spent on opening a US office or strengthening a Quebec-based company. With such a limited budget, doing both was impossible, and he had to choose. Considering the lasting impact of both, IT reaction had his own life. He had to think things through. It is necessary to clarify that Iteration was created to be a reseller of NetSuite, a provider of cloud computing based in the United States, solutions for small and medium-sized companies, with the specific objective of helping SMEs growing, implementing customizing, and supporting your software applications using NetSuite products. Enterprise resources planning, relationship management, and e-commerce were to be developed through a single data repository. NetSuite products are constantly evolving to meet the management needs of SMEs, so the Magnico company relied especially and completely on the NetSuite products because its business philosophy led to use as its products instead of diversifying and believing in the ability to become industry.
Analyzing the factors that motivated McNichol to move or to get an office in the United States, we can see that first the American market is much bigger than Canadian one. And of course, we can see that the behavior of the customers are so different in the United States than in Canada. For example, American customers are more open to see new things or new technologies, and they want to see the potential and the benefits, of course profits, that they can have when getting a business with another company. They think that it is not necessary to have a physical contact with the supplier or provider. They think that they can take that risk. And for Canadian people and Quebec customers, it was necessary to have a physical contact with the company. They wanted to see process, and they have to see the service that they can give. So it wasn't so important the profits and the benefits that business can get to them, but they wanted to see the experience at all with that company. Another fact that McNichol had to consider in that moment is that the budget of his company was so limited. He only had $100,000 for invest, and he had to choose whether going to United States and getting an office out there, and or remaining in Canada. And why don't do both? Because of course the budget was too limited. So that the more profitable choice was to go to the United States, and that was so motivating for him. Um Unless he wanted to stay in Canada and his personal purposes were different.
Well, now analyzing the barriers to the firm's internationalization, first of all, we have the US consumption culture. It's well known for a lot of people that the US market the and also the its customers are too flexible and willing to pay via online. This is a good culture that they have. And this order of ideas, it cannot be too viable to open a local store in that market. Um, because of its culture, and also it cannot get a good retribution of the invest that they can do and require. And the second one is the budget. The budget, it's not enough through this kind of internationalization process, just such as to enter into a market just like the US market. So they have to take into account that this kind of process are too expensive in order to develop strategies such as segmentation, marketing, and those kind of stuff. And finally, the break potential of iterations. If they fail in this whole process of internationalization, they will drain the whole resources that the company has. Sorry. So in this sort of idea, the company have to take a really risk, and they're going to take a really big risk if they want to get an internationalization in this market. And also they can dismotivate the whole company and McNichol. So that's not a good that are the whole barriers that they have right now.
Identify possible operation modes if the company chooses to go into the US. The different modes of operation that the company can use if they choose to enter in the US are based especially on constant growth and direct sales, developing a network of clients who needed to see the services firsthand, receiving a demonstration, knowing your company and its respective personnel, and gaining the trust of customers. Entering the US market would present enormous challenges. It was necessary to configure the modes of operation in such a way that good business sense could be obtained due the distance and their lack of experiences both in establishing an international operation and the international markets require more international travel, which led McNichol to resign from his previous job and additionally had to compete with local companies in order to provide services based on the products developed by NetSuite as a US-based company, while being a company Canadian would not give iteration any of the usual immigration benefits as superior resources. He had to think about local integration and its strong connection with customers. But the problem is that the company lacked that differentiation in the English speaking market competing for price. Another mode of operation is the diversification of the company's product range without going to the US, considering offering products in the industries such as logistics, pharmaceutical, and professional services. Thus, it would be possible to operate but avoiding the inconveniences related to travel and the brand. The consequences of not developing an adequate mode of operation in the US could completely disintegrate this operation and the time of exhausting its resources and eventually demotivate McNichol. 4. Present your recommendations to McNichol on whether to invest further in Quebec or to establish physical presence in the US. As a team, we have decided to recommend McNichol regarding the investment in Quebec or about having physical presence in the US to carry out an adequate market study that allows it to know and understand what the true preferences of its customers and their needs are in order to reach implement and technology appropriate to your market niche. Knowing and understanding the cultural trends of the market segment you want to penetrate is a fundamental point. And know your direct competition and possible substitutes. Invest in training and resources that allow your to keep work team aware of everything that happens in your economic sector. Anticipate changes and adapt to them. Be attractive to your potential participants. Invest in the improvement of businesses processes as well in a management processes by investing or improving their own technology.
And finally, talking about the action plan of our choice of invest further in Quebec. First of all, we have this strategy that is to invest more or further in the local stores and also opening more of them. This with the intention of developed specialized customer service. Another one is to develop an attacking marketing plan. This is going to hoard the more of the market of these products, and also they are going to invest more on A&D with intention of improve the quality of the products that they are going to provide to the client. The objective is to interact more with the client. We know that the segment of the Quebec clients are too classic, and they enjoy that much of going to the store, talk to the to the people and search about their product. So through this strategy, we are going to develop and develop a strategy of loyalty and to be closer with the client. And finally, with the collaboration, this is going to invest further in the marketing plan, as I said before, with intention of arise to be capable to arise more of this segment of the market. And that's it. Thank you and bye bye.